Hi there, it's Karen at Corrie Paper Crafts, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in central Scotland. Welcome back to another Simple Sundays project, and it's this one here. It's a swap that I recently made for our Pootles team swap. Every new catalogue we get into groups and we swap a certain number of goodies, cards or small 3D projects, something like that. So I made this one. This swap obviously is from the August to December mini catalogue, so all the products that we used were to be from that, and I've actually noticed that I'm missing a bit here, so bear with me a little minute until I grab my embellishments, unless they're already out, and I think they are. Yep, over on the desk here. I can't believe I forgot to add a bit on, so we'll just do it now. And that's all my ribbons falling over because I haven't tidied up after making quite a few projects, and there's stuff everywhere. So I've now knocked all my ribbons over that I've been using, but hey ho. I actually added a little wonderful gem onto the bottom of there as well. So my project is now complete and inside it's a little mini highlighter pen. This is very vanilla thick cardstock, and the DSP is from the Poinsettia Place, I think it is. Yep, the Poinsettia Place 12 by 12 designer series paper pack, and this is the real red sheer ribbon, which is in the new August to December catalogue as well. So I'm going to show you how I made this, but this time I'm going to use the Playing with Patterns designer series paper, and my cardstock is Purple Posy. So I'll just grab the paper pack here and just give you a quick flick through here. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at these colours. That is amazing. I need to make something with that because it's got Calypso Coral in it, and it isn't a colour that I use very often, but that's just beautiful. So here we are, all double-sided, so a little bit more plain on one side than the other, so we'll just flick through the other way as well. But these colours are just absolutely beautiful, and they're a fabulous combination. So I will tell you the colours that are in this pack. We have quite a few, so we've got Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, Crushed Curry, Night of Navy, Purple Posy and Whisper White. So as I say, today's project I'm using Purple Posy, and you'll need a piece of cardstock which measures 7 3/4 by 1 1/4 inches or 19.7 by 3.2 centimetres. Then you'll need 2 pieces of DSP, both which measure 2 5/8 inches by 1 1/8, or in centimetres that's 6.7 by 2.9. And then you'll need another little piece here, and I've already rounded the corners, but that started off at 1 1/8 inch by 7/8 of an inch, which is 2.9 by 2.2 centimetres. I just rounded the corners ahead of time because it's a little bit of a faff. And this tiny part here is 1 1/8 by 1/2 an inch or 2.9 by 1.3 centimetres. So let's do some scoring now. So I'll grab my scoreboard and hopefully not get too much glare. So on the long side we're going to score at 2 3/4, 3 3/8, 6 1/8 and 6 3/4 in inches, or that's 7, 8.6, 15.6 and 17.2 in centimetres. So that's all we need the scoreboard for, so I'll just get that out of the way without knocking the tripod. And before I do anything else, you'll see that we've got 2 larger sections here. Now is that right? 5/8 and 5/8. Yep, these are supposed to be equal, but they actually don't look equal, but I know that they are because of my measurements, but they certainly don't look it. But this smaller section here, which is the 7/8 of an inch, or it's 1 inch actually, I'm going to round the corners on that because that's the flap that comes down over the front of my box here. So I'll just round those corners like so. There we are. And then I'm going to fold and burnish on all my score lines, just making sure as I fold that all the edges are straight and that they all match with each other. There we are, and the last one, just make sure that's equal. There we are. You can round these corners as well if you want, but they're actually hidden inside, so it's not necessary. So we need to add our pieces of DSP on now, but we may need to make sure if it's a directional pattern that these parts go up and down the way, with the top of the pattern here and the bottom here, and the same on this section. And then when we turn it over, we want the same on the back, but when you open it up they'll actually look like these are in the same direction and that's in the opposite direction. But if you don't use a directional pattern, it makes it much easier. And the same goes for this little section here, because it's on the top of the box. If you do have a directional pattern, when it's facing this way round, you want the top of the pattern here and the bottom here. So I'm just going to start by putting this little piece on just now. Remembering that it's a new bottle of glue, so not to squeeze too hard or I'll get far too much glue squishing out. There we are, and then I'll pop this part onto here. And I just want to make sure that I get round those corner edges, the rounded corners, so that it all sticks down. Here we are. Just pop that on there like that. And give it a press down once I'm happy. Just get that little bit of excess glue off there. Give it a press on the back side, which is easier. So this is the right way round, so I want my paper going up and down this way if it's directional. Just make sure that doesn't squish out at the edges. There we are. Just pop that on, whoops, there like that without knocking it flying. There we are. And just make sure I give it a press down at those corners and then give it a good rub on the other side. And I see I've got bits of glue there which are coming off my fingers, I think, because I've got a bit of glue on my hands, and it doesn't help that I've got some glue on here, which is probably where it came from. So let's just rub that off. Excuse me. And then obviously we want to turn it over so that this part is facing up and down this way. It is sticking to me. I do have glue on my fingers. It wouldn't be like me not to have glue on me as well as my project. You should know that by now. Just add a bit closer to the edge up here. And just add this piece on like so. And once I'm happy, just press that down. There we are. Again, just pressing into the corners to make sure that that stays stuck. And then all I need to do is pop my little highlighter pen in, and as I say, I've already got it on a block here because my glue dots are on. And I'm just going to sit that near the bottom edge there, near that fold, just like so, and then give it a press so that those glue dots adhere. And then I'm going to add one more glue dot just onto the inside of that flap on the lid to hold it closed. So just pop one just right there. Come on. and then lining the box up and keeping it square and keeping the edges even. I'm just going to stick that down like that. And then I'm going to use one of the ribbons from the Playing with Patterns ribbon combo pack. You have a piece which is, I'm not sure if it's Pool Party or not. I've got a funny feeling it's not, but I'll double check. And that's Night of Navy, and I've got this here as well, which is, which colour is that? I think it's Purple Posy, but I'm thinking, is that pink or Purple Posy? I'm not too sure. I'm not very good with colours when they're as subtle as that. My eyes tend to go funny and play tricks on me. So I'm going to make sure that I cut plenty off so that I'm able to tie a decent bow. So about there should do. And then just near the front on that top flap, I'm just going to tie this into a bow. So let's pull that down just a little bit and come through. Can't get a hold of that to get it through. There we are. And then because it's a one-sided ribbon, make sure you don't pull it too tight either, because you don't want things to curl. I'm just going to twist that round a little bit because I want the colour on my bow, and I'm going to put the plain side of the ribbon round so that when I pull that loop through, I've got the colour on the outside and it's not coming through. Start again. Honestly, every time I tie a bow on camera, it just doesn't work. So, loop, plain part of the ribbon comes round, and I'm going to push the coloured part through so that my loop is coloured. Oh my goodness, that was harder than it needed to be as well. And I'm just going to pull that tight, and I'm not too worried about where the ends end up. There we are. That's actually looking okay. So I'm just going to angle that a little bit there and angle that a little bit there. Maybe cut that just a little bit shorter. There we go. And then all that remains is for me just to add a little embellishment, and I'm just trying to decide where I put it. So I might put 2 on this one. So I'm going to use the Playing with Patterns resin dots, and I'm going to use the Purple Posy ones. Cover up my jaggy pointy bit on my take a pick tool, and I'm going to just take one here and pop it there, and I might use the middle-sized one actually and pop one there, and I think I'll go for another tiny toty one and pop one on the bottom corner there as well. And that's my project made. So I hope you like those. One quite Christmassy, one just for fun. So all the description bar below will have all the links to a blog post which will be up hopefully very soon, and to my shop if you like any of the products that I've used. Then if you don't already have a demonstrator, and that's other things falling over in the background as well. I think it's time to tidy up now. So if you don't have a demonstrator, then you'll find a link to my shop underneath. So thanks for watching, crashing and banging included, and take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye now.